So a little recap this morning. We had the wind in our favor, kinda. We had the cold temps. We had the film crew. We had the spot. We just needed the buck to come through. I saw 2 deer this morning. We tried some bleats, we tried some grunts, but that big buck that we know is in the area, he weren't close enough, or he weren't coming out. So it's not over. Just got to put in the grind. Keep grinding, keep sitting, keep waiting, and eventually he'll come out, or I'll take something smaller.
As the trees shed their last orange, hunters gear up and put on theirs. It's the second week of November, which means rifle season in Vermont. We invite you up to deer camp with the elder boys as they continue their tradition of hunting the elusive whitetail buck on the north side of Blue Mountain. Welcome to Higher Elevations Deer Camp.
I had 2 spots to sit, one up on the mountain and one down here. I had more potential and sign down here, so I sat here all day Saturday. And then I went up on the mountain on Sunday morning, and it turns out I should have been sitting here because I had a couple of deer go through, and one of them is a big 6-pointer I have on camera at 7:30 in the morning. It's definitely a shooter. It was definitely the buck I'm after. I got his rub line, I got him on camera, and I got him on camera when I should have been sitting there Sunday morning. Yeah, I know. But it's okay, because that morning I was up on the mountain and I heard a shot, and I heard a couple more shots, and I knew it was in the area of Andrew or Everett. And sure enough, lo and behold, Andrew got his Blue Mountain buck. I had a good feeling that Andrew was going to have to come back to Vermont, the OG, to get his buck for this year, because 2020 had been stomping on Andrew's hunting this year too. So it makes it just a little more worth it that it's a Vermont buck. Keeps him close to home, keeps him coming back. At least one of us got one opening weekend.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, the 2020 season. Yeah, I mean, I got a doe on the second day of bow season. And then it was a long in between New York, Massachusetts, back to Vermont. You know, and there was a low point in the middle where it just like fell and landed on my gun, and I'm just like, I'm like, missed that opportunity of that big 6-pointer, even though, I'm glad you got yours. Mm-hmm. I missed opportunities, and just like, down on your luck, the gun, banging up the scope on the gun. And just like, and then like try it, and then you get in that low and you start to question yourself, like, well, what am I doing wrong? What should I do? And it's like, and then you gotta breathe and just like, okay, just go back to what go back to where the sign is.
That was always fun when you get the deer come that close. Regardless if it's a young one that doesn't know better or whatever age, it's still fun to see deer, see them that close where you can count the ticks on their back.
And that's how I played this week. I was like, even though like I got that great footage of that spike horn behind Frank's, you know, and that doe that came down and sat there one night, and everybody goes, "Does that mean you're going there for the rest of the season?" I go, "No, I'm pretty sure that's it. That's there."
Right.
I didn't see a lot of sign. I saw that little doe and that spike horn. I was like, that's not enough evidence for me to stick it out here. I have to go back to where the sign is, and that's what I did. I went back to back to northern border. So I was like, well, I'll go back to my little stump. I'm just doing. I told Dad, I'm doing what the old timers do, Dad. Just find a good stump, a good spot, and sit my butt down. And then like behind me, I just hear crash, like friggin'. This is like elephants. It almost sounded like someone putting on a deer drive. I'm like, oh my gosh, freaking deer, like running this way. And then before I could even have eyeballs on him, I hear burr, burr, burr. I'm like, oh, it's a buck chasing a doe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, safety is off. I don't even see a deer yet. Safety's off.
Yeah.
And then they come up just to north of me, out onto the edge of the logging road, and it's a buck chasing two does back and forth. And thankfully, the does stopped where they did. We started to turn and go back up towards the doe just above him.
Facing away, yeah.
Yep, facing away, and that front shoulder kicked ahead, and I just had a couple little whips. I was like, I'm not concerned about those. And then, boom!
All right. Hopefully I got a buck down. Oh, still doe moving. It's been a long season. Final morning of the final day of rifle season. I stuck true to this spot because there's a lot of good potential in this spot and a lot of good buck sign. Been a long season. Glad to have that. Nice 6-pointer. Oh, I'm grateful. All the homework and long hours in the woods paid off. Nothing wrong. A nice 6-pointer on the last day of season. Never gave up. Right there. What do we got, Dad?
We got a nice 6, 145-ish with Droey's gun. I don't know, do you owe Droey something for that or what?
No.
No, okay. He can use your gun next year?
Yeah. They got 2 bucks during rifle season with the same gun. Uncle Carrie's old Model 88 308 Winchester. That gun has shot many, many deer. And I'm pretty sure I shot my first deer with that gun. Pretty sure. I got my buck, but sadly it wasn't big enough. And I hate to say it, Andrew gets this trophy for dose year in a row. So even though I got 2, we're remembering that. Andrew got the biggest buck, so he gets the biggest trophy. It's a huge trophy. Everett, next year, I want you to take this from Uncle Andrew. And if you don't, I'll be glad to take it from him next year. Here you go, Andrew. Reach in the ground. Been a long season. Glad to have that. Nice 6-pointer. That's what I do, okay?
Why are you out of breath at the end of all your clips?
I'm not out of breath. It's just releasing the adrenaline and the stress and the emotion from the season at the end of the hunt after you bag that beautiful buck. A true hunter will appreciate and understand what I'm talking about. Just you know, that symbolizes so much, just that final exhale of just everything that season was. I'm gonna do it now.